Welcome back, guys. Let me tell you about these tactics that saved my season. I was having this fantastic season in my sports save until March when my tactics stopped winning. I don't know, maybe this has happened to any of you when you have a tactics that works and all of a sudden it stops working and you start losing games. And after I crashed out of the Champions League, losing 3-2 on aggregate to Inter Milan, and subsequently losing the Carabao Cup final to Liverpool, I knew something had to change. So I either had to change my tactics or I risked losing the Premier League title to Liverpool, who were right behind me in second place. So I had to make changes to save my season. It was at this point I discovered these 4-2-3-1 tactics that I've created as Axis Ball. After switching to these tactics, I went on to win the Premier League title, being unbeaten from April to May, and also won the FA Cup against Chelsea that same season. But the journey does not end here. We also completed the second season using the same tactics, and in the second season it was a total overhaul of trophies as we won the Curtain Raiser, the Community Shield, won the Carabao Cup, went on to win the league and capped it with an FA Cup victory. We thought we were done until we got to the end of the season and we played Juventus in the Champions League final and won, and did a complete trophy overhaul in the second season using the same tactics. I then went on to try these tactics on my RB Salzburg save and ended the season with an unbeaten run in the league. We also scored the most goals, allowed the least goals, and also had an incredible Europa League campaign that we lost out to Porto in the semi-finals. I tried these tactics with the third team and it was the relegated Leeds, and it's just more of the same. I played with the demoted Leeds in the championship, and not only did we win back promotion immediately, we also won the league with the most goals scored, least shot against, most tackles won, and most interceptions made. You would not believe what happened next. Now in the Premier League with Leeds, we played the season and ended up third in the league. You mean a newly promoted club can go on and qualify the Champions League in the first try and in the first season? It was a superb season as we ended up winning the FA Cup against Newcastle in the same season. This tactics is a defensive tactics just as much as it's an attacking tactics. Let me introduce you to Axis Ball 4-2-3-1. So this is the Axis Ball 4-2-3-1. Axis Ball starts with a gegenpress style and a balanced mentality. The positions, we have a ball-playing goalkeeper. The left back is set as a fullback. We have two ball-playing centre-backs, with two of them. And the right back is a playmaking wing-back. We want this playmaking wing-back to come into the DM position when we are in progression. Our left DM is set as a deep line playmaker. Our right DM is set as a box-to-box midfielder. You can also still change this to a box-to-box playmaker. Our wide men are set as wingers, the two of them. I like the wingers because they tend to put more crosses in than the wide forwards. The wide forwards tend to score on their own, and instead of them crossing, they prefer to shoot. They want to shoot at every opportunity. I've now seen more changes even when I set their instructions to not shoot. Our cam position can be either a free role or an attacking midfielder. I've used both and it works. This role depends on the player instruction you give to the player. Our striker is a channel forward. And in our out of possession player positions, we have a sweeper keeper. Two fullbacks are set to pressing fullbacks because we also want to press harder and we want our fullbacks to always push forward. Our left DM position is set as a defensive midfielder, and our right defensive midfielder is set as a pressing defensive midfielder. So it's also an high press like I mentioned earlier. Our wide men are both set as wide midfielder, I also change this sometimes to tracking wide midfielder when I see that the opposition wingers are beating my fullbacks a lot. So I set my wide man to tracking wide midfielders so that they can help out the fullbacks. We have our camp position, we have an attacking midfielder and a center forward for striker. Going on to team instructions, our passing directness is set to more direct. So we are going to be playing lots of long balls, switching plays in transition. So with this, we tend to concede more possession because of this, because we want quick and fast transition. Our tempo is set as standard. You can also push this a little bit to higher, but I kind of set it as standard so that we can play calmly instead of trying to rush the ball, especially during transition. Time wasting is set to standard. Attacking transition is set to counter attacks. Our attacking width is narrower. We try to keep the ball as well. Goalkeeper distribution is to center backs. Our build-up strategy is to play through the press. We are not afraid to. We tend to discourage shooting from distance, and we encourage distributing quickly for the goalkeepers. Every other thing is set to the default. Our out of possession team instructions is that we have an high press as line of engagement, and we have a higher defensive line, and we tend to trigger press much more. Our defensive transition is to counter press, and we set tackling as standard. I'm very careful with tackling in FM26. There tend to be a lot of rough tackles that lead to red cards. We also stop crosses for cross engagement. Press trapping, we tend to trap outside. We don't want them to play through our centers. We prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and our defensive line behavior is to step up more. So this is a very pressing tactics, but also we are solid defensively. Now, let's talk about the player instructions. This is very important because the player instructions tend to show how the players behave in this tactics. So for our strikers, our channel forward now, you set them to move into channels. We also tell them to make more forward runs. We ask them to shoot less because we don't want them to be shooting at every opportunity, leading to low quality shots. We want them to take their time and make sure they can score before they shoot. We give them freedom to roam from their position, and their passing strategy is set to standard. Every other instruction is default. The out of possession, this is where it's also interesting. For my attacking players, I set their tackling to tackle harder. I'll get to my defensive tackles later. Marking is to mark tight and to trigger press much more. Our wingers is the attacking width is standard. I want them to cut inside when they dribble. That also tend to close and make our play narrow, if you remember with our team instruction. Because dribbling is broken in FM26, I want them to dribble more. I have very good dribblers as my wide men. I want them to make more forward runs and also to shoot less and take more passing risk. Out of possession, just like I mentioned earlier, I gave them to tackle harder, to mark tighter, and to trigger press much more often. This is the same with all my attacking players. For my camp position, I want them to move into channel, to roam from position, to dribble more and make more forward runs. They will also shoot less and take more risk, which is set as default. And it's the same for my out of possession, just like all my attacking players. Trigger press, mark tightly, and tackle harder. For my winger, I changed this. For my left winger, it's still the same as the right winger, and in and out of possession is the same thing. For my box-to-box midfielder, I want them to move into channel because they're going to move into the camp position. I want them to move into channels and also want them to shoot less because they will get opportunity. And you see, when I start getting to the midfield, I instructed them not to tackle harder, just left it as standard. I want them to mark tighter, and because it's a pressing defensive midfield, it's going to press much more often. For our deep lying playmaker, everything is set as standard. And for our out of possession, just like I mentioned, tackling harder is removed from it. Our playmaking winger is going to be much more of a default, and shooting, it gets less opportunity. So you can either leave shooting as standard or for him to shoot less, because sometimes they tend to get in front of the box 18 and they want to shoot recklessly. So it's either you leave it as shootless or leave it as standard. Everything works. So like I said, tackling ADA has been removed. I want them to also mark tightly. Our left fullback, I want them to make more run forward because they will support the attack, and I have them to mark tightly, and that's the only instruction I'm changing. Our ball playing defenders, everything is just left as it is in default, and I want them to mark tightly. It's the same for the other ball playing defender. I leave that as default and only added mark tightening in the possession. Our goalkeeper is just default, and that will be it. So that will be it for today. Let me know in the comment section how these tactics worked for you, what we can change, and any ideas you also have. As well, like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also click the notification bell so that you get notified anytime I drop a new video. We will still continue to drop more FM tips and tricks, and also watch out for season 2 on my FM save. Thank you. See you next time.